Hi, welcome to online ordering system created using C# application. So I'm just going to show you how this works. Let's say the name is EU and the telephone number is as follows, and the reference number will be generated automatically, and let's say that's the amount of wine ordered, and enter that in there. So all we just need to do is to click on total, and that's the total of everything. The reference number of this very man is 301. So you can always use the calculator to add this up. So if you multiply this by this multiply by that's 20, and you can even just add up all of the total. So 36, okay, plus 56, and that is what you get. Okay, and that's the tax right there. If you add the tax to it plus the tax, and that is the value. So the next thing you can do with this system is you can always come here and just add this to the basket, or you can even come here and just save and just enter all your items straight into the data grid, and that is how the system works. So what I'll do next is just take you guys straight into Visual Studio now. Hi, and welcome to C#. In this very program, I'm going to be developing a C# ordering system. So I'll select Windows Forms application, click on, let's give it a name anyway. We'll call that order underscore systems. Okay, and that's the form right there. So click on that, select the form property right here, and just change the form size to 1366 by 700, and the back color I'm going to change that to black there. So the next thing I'll do is just get some of these following component on board. Let's look for a group box there. I'm going to need 4 of those, but one thing first, let's change the color of that to control there. So I need 4 of those. Just copy one more here and one here there. Okay, let's speed that up. Okay, this is how the interface is looking now. So I need the following component as well. Let's go for tool control, tab control. I need an extra tab there. That's my tab control there. Add one more, that's fine. And I then need the following here. Let's get some labels on board. Okay, those are the labels. We need 2 more here. We need about a couple of labels here and some here. Okay, and we also need maybe 3 of those here, really. 1, 2, and 3 there. Okay, here let's change the name of that very property to, let's change that to calculator. Change that to calculator, and the next one we change that to receipt, and followed by order there. Okay, the next thing we need to do now is, you see the calculator right there. I'm going to need as follows. Let's get our toolbox. We need some buttons. In the first place, let's get a label there as well. Need a label for the calculator, and change the font and the properties of that very label. Let's change that to auto size, force, back color, let's make that white, and border style will be fixed single. Now the text content in there will be 0, align, center, right, and change the font size to something readable. Okay, let's go for maybe 20. Alright, that's looking good. Now I need one more label there. Just copy that, paste it right in there. Okay. Alright, so the next thing I'll do now is let's design the buttons. We need a couple of these. Okay, drag it along. Yeah, and now on this very side I need as follows. Let's get a combo box. We need a combo box and a text box. Okay, a combo box, a label, and a text box here. That's a label there. Might as well copy one of these because I'm going to need that as well. And a combo box. Place a combo box there. Then one text box there, right here. Text box here, there. Okay, so that's how the system is looking right now. So the next thing I'll do is just select all of these, increase the font size to something a little bit readable, or something readable. Okay, let's change that to about 16 or maybe 18. That's cool. Okay, if I run the program now, this is how it's looking. So what I would do next is this side is supposed to be for my converter, so I will have a button there as well. Maybe just copy this and use it to cover here, bring it down. Okay, and maybe bring it up there. Change the text content to currency converter. Alright, and just increase the font size. Just increase the font size, maybe 24. Alright, that's cool. So what I will do next is just speed it up and get back to you guys. Okay guys, this is how the system is looking right now. If I run it, this is what you guys will see. So the next thing I'll do now is I will develop or create a database. Okay, let's go into the Solution Explorer right there. Right click on Other System, Add New Items, and I will now scroll down, select Local Database. Let me give that a name, Order. I'm just going to call it Order, that's fine. Click on OK. Click Next and just finish it up right there. Now my order system is ready for me to double click on it, on the database itself. Right click on the table to create new table. Okay, the tables that I'll be creating, if you look at the names here, those are the names that I will call. So first, one thing first, let's give that a name, Order Systems. Now the first name there will be, let's call that order ID reference number. Now the next one is customer name, customer underscore phone number. Then I have customer, and I have the date, order date, followed by order time or time of order. And then I have right underneath here types of wine and so on. So let's go for white wine there, red wine, other type of wine. Then right here I need quantity 1, quantity 2, quantity 3. Okay, what else do I need? I need the price and subtotal. Come right down here, unit price 1. So the next one is unit price 2, unit price 3 there. Then followed by subtotal. That'll be subtotal 1 really, and subtotal 1, subtotal 2, subtotal 3 there. Okay, we need tax right there, net subtotal, and finally net total. Okay, hopefully I have all my data in place. You can always set your primary key if you want, but I'm not going to be bothered with that. Alright, so let's just click on OK. Up and click on OK. That's it. The database is now created. Okay, to now finish up with the database, I have to add it. So come to data right here, add new data source. Now this dialog box pops up, click on next, and that's your database right there. It's connected. If you want to create a new one, you can always connect to a new one there. Click on next. Now you get this dialog box, select the table that you just created there. Right in there are the information that I've entered into my table. Click on finish. Once that is completed, come back to data right there. Now select show data source, and that's the data source there. If you drop this down, you will see your data right there. So what I will do next is just move this across, come up here where I have the order. Okay, I'm going to drag this data grill view, drag that onto the system here. There. So that's taken care of. Now the next thing I'll do is the details. Now drop that down individually. Look at the other reference right there. Click there and just delete this. Place this in there. Now customer, delete the customer. So leave the text box in there. So that's for customer. Now telephone, bring that here. Now we need date, delete this, time, delete that. Okay, so I will now speed that up and get back to you guys. Okay, with that of the unit, and just drag this, delete this very one. Now we need the subtotal one, delete the subtotal itself. Just the labels are deleted, and the text box, because the text box will be used. Okay, there. So let's take care of the subtotal. That's it there. Delete that. Now the tax and net total, delete. Okay, the next thing I'll do is just increase the font size for each of the text box. Select it all and increase the font size to something readable. Okay, let's go to the property there. Now increase the font size. Let's go for maybe 16 bold. There, that's taken care of. So what I will do now is let's start with the coding. So we double click on the form right there, scroll right up here, and here we press enter right underneath here and enter the following lines of variable or the following variables. And here, those are for my calculator. This is just for the tax, and this is for the Y, and here those are for my currency converter. Okay, the next thing I will do now is to select all of my number buttons, select it all, and then add an event right there. Can you see that? I'm going to be using click or button click. Let's just call it button underscore click. So which means when I click on any of these buttons, it will take me to that very event. Okay, so that's button click event right there. So I will now enter the following lines of codes. Okay, so what will happen is if I click on my button, any of those button right here, so I should be able to enter any number I intend to enter. Okay, you see that, guys? Okay, but the clear is not working. This is not working. None of those work for now. So let's go back. So one part of the calculator is taken care of. Now with the operators, select all of those and just maybe give them a name. Now change the events. Maybe I just call it calc underscore operators. There, that's the name for that. Double click on that and there they are. I will now enter the following lines of codes for the operator. And right here, that is the new method created for the operator. So that will send whatever information straight into my display. Okay, the name of this very display, that is it right there, LBL display. Okay, and underneath, in there I also have another display. Let me show it to you guys. I've called it LBL show calculator. That's it right there. So what will happen is if I run the program, press whatever number and press any of that, that's what happened. So let's go for, we need to get the equals button working as well. So the next thing is double click on the equals button and enter the following lines of codes using select case. That is the equals. Let me move that up so that you guys can see it. Okay, I believe you can see it now. So if I run the calculator now, maybe 5 plus 3 there, or divide by 6. Alright, okay, but this is not working yet. Clear is not working and this is not working, so let's take care of those. Close that, come in here. Okay, the next thing is to take care of the backspace. Those are the lines of code for the backspace, and then double click on the decimal place and enter the following lines of code for the decimal place. So I have the decimal here, I have the backspace there. So let's take it up so that you see all the codes again. That's for the equal sign, and here that's for the operators, and these are for the plus, for the number buttons, sorry. So if I run the program now, we can do whatever we want with this calculator right now. Oh, the clear button is not working yet, so let's take care of the clear button itself. Let's copy this, come in here, double click on the clear, paste that in undo. We only need just this. Might as well just type it LBL display dot text equals clear, and followed by LBL show dot text equals clear, and LBL display itself the text. Let's enter back there's a 0 in there. Anyway, that's it. So the clear button is now taken care of. So if we run the program, let's see. Alright, so let's run it again and see this. Okay, multiply by 9. Alright, that's not looking too bad. That's good. So what we now need is to take care of this now. We need to be able to drop this down and click on convert. So let's do that. So the name of this button is very important. That's the name right there. Get the name straight. Come up here, double click on this and just say that dot visible equals false. Alright, there, that's taken care of. I'm going to copy this as well. Come in here, double click on this itself, paste that in there, make it false, and come back here. Let's go for maybe standard to give it back the, and change this to true, or maybe change this name, change this to something else. Close currency converter. Alright, That's the name of that. That will close this. Close currency converter. We double click on that. That's close currency converter. That becomes true. Alright. Okay, that's fine. So if I try it out, let's see how it looks. I can close it and I can, yep, that's fine. Close. That is fine. So working as expected. So these are not working yet. Alright, so we need that. We need this one to work and the other to work. So let's come back in here, see what will happen. Okay, so the calculator is working. We need to take care of the converter, so let's do that now. This is not working yet as well, so that can be easily taken care of. Double click on this and just enter that in there. So that's taken care of. Alright. Okay, the next thing for me to do now is to make sure this combo box is populated. So I will then double click on the form itself and right here enter the following lines of code. That's for the combo box. That will take care of the currency converter. Okay, so if I run it there, those are the countries that I would like to convert. Okay, so the next thing I will do now is okay, I now need to, this is not working yet, that's supposed to close. Okay, let's minimize that, come back in here, double click on this, and that is closed. It's supposed to be true. Okay, I think I must have entered the wrong code in here. Yeah, that's false, that's why it's not closing. Alright, so hopefully that's taken care of now. Move this back there. So now let's run it again and see. So we can open, we can close. Alright, so let's double click and go back in there, because this we need the date, the time. Okay, let's take care of the date first. Let's copy that. So double click on the form right underneath here. I'm going to enter the date. So first thing is, let me declare, create a new method for dates. Okay, that's it. So let's call it iDate, or maybe here iDate equals date dot now. Alright, that's the date there. So I'm now going to use that as saying order dates, this very text box. That's the very text box there. That's the name. Order date. I also need the name of this as well. I might as well copy that now. Okay, back in here, dot text equals iDate, right there, iDate dot set to string. Okay, now I want it to be date slash mm slash. Okay, that should give me the format for my date. Okay, so if I and repeat the same thing for the time, iDate dot to string, so that will give me, enter the speech mark in there and come in here, and H, capital H, lowercase m, and seconds. Okay, if you look at the format, look at the date. Let's look at the date. Lowercase date, uppercase m, lowercase letter y's. Let me run it before we have a go at changing it again. Can you see that? So that gives me today's date and the month, the year, and that is the time right now. So if I close this, supposing I decide to change this, let's change it and see what will happen. So let's change that and see. Can you see that? I still have today's date, the month, and just the year. It's not giving me the 2015. So, and that is why. Let's see if I increase that to 2. Let's see what will happen. The same thing. So let's increase it back to 4 Ys. With 4 Ys, I end up with the right date. Okay, the seconds, let's delete this and see what will happen. And that is that the second is gone, but it looks better with the second on, so I can undo and just leave that there. Okay, one other thing that is left for me to do now is to enter zeros in this instead of let's enter zeros in there. So double click on the form load again, come right here and just enter the zeros. There they are. So if I run the system, there says standby 0 in there, apart from this one that is missing a 0. Let's come in here. I think that's it. It's 2. Let's change that to number 3. That's it. Run it again, and there. So they all have 0 in place. So that will prevent it from having an error. Okay, so what is now remaining is for me to reset. Click on the reset button and make that work. So with the reset button, I just need to double click on this. Maybe just enter this as well. Okay, reset it back to 0. And we need the name of all of these components. I need the name of these. So you have to clear that. The text equals clear. Alright, so just copy that and change the number around, because I have 3 of those in there. So this becomes 2 and this becomes 3 there. So we need that off. We need this very one. Get the name. Text equals the tax and the text as well. Okay, one more. The last one, that is the total. And the total right there. Okay, copy and paste that in there. Okay, that's taken care of. We need to take care of the names as well. Of course, we might want to change all of this. Yeah, let's do that. There's that there. Paste. I need 2 more for the telephone number. Copy that name. Paste it there. Now I need the reference number and paste that in there. Okay, with that done, I've taken care of all of the reset button. So if I run it, whatever data enter in here, let's say we enter name in there, telephone number, reference. Actually, I would like the reference to generate itself. So if I click on reset, that's it is working as I expected. Okay, that works as well. I will now double click on add to box to the basket. So in the add to the basket, I like this to open up the receipt here, and that will be tab control. Okay, so double click on that and say tab control 1 dot select, then that will be dot selected tab equals tab, that will be tab 1, and that will be tab page, I think that will be tab page 2 there. That should be capital T. Let's see the name of that tab right here, tab 2, and that is the first is, okay, that's tab 2. Okay, just copy that, click on OK, just change that around there. Okay, that's for tab 2. And then I'm going to need another one for tab 1. In the case of tab 1, that will be for the calculator. Double click on the calculator right there, paste that in there. That's tab 1, tab page 1. Then finally other, that will be tab page 3. Okay, those buttons are to open up each of those tabs. So if I run it, Let's see, that is for order, and that's supposed to be for the receipts, so I need to check that. And that's for the calculator. The calculator works as expected. This is not working, so let's find out why. Double click on that. Well, there's nothing in there. Okay, that'll be tab 2, I think. So let's see again. Tab 2, yep, that is working as expected. Okay, this is tab 2, tab 3, so we need tab 3 in here as well. So let's go into the save, double click on save, paste that in there for tab page 3. In the case of this save, we also need as follows. So with save, we need to enter as follows for the data we would like it to validate it. I think something is missing there. Alright, that's for my database, to save the database. So I also need the following. I need it to be able to call this very order system binding source. Okay, come in there and enter this dot order system binding, that's it, dot edit and edit. Okay, and close that. Yeah, that's it. So those 2 lines should save whatever data we enter in here. Okay, that's taken care of. There's one more thing. Let me look for the timer. Yeah, that's the timer in there. I might as well just copy the timer and paste it inside this save as well. Okay, there. Alright, that's the timer. I also need a timer inside the reset button. Okay, the reset doesn't play it, so that's fine anyway. So if I run my system now, before I continue with the calculation, let's say I enter PJ Omen, and here I have my telephone number. Here I have my reference there. The reference should generate automatically, really. So we need to take care of that anyway. Let's just see what will happen if we click on save. Okay, we need those information right here. Let's give that a shot again. Okay, enter PJ and enter the information right there. Reference number. Okay, so save and save. Let's see. That's it. Those are the information right there. Can you guys see it? Okay, it's working as expected, so that's good. We can always click on this and enter new set of data. So let's continue with our coding. So the next thing I need to do is the big one. That's to take care of the calculation, and this I need to take care of the add to basket as well. Okay, maybe we should take care of the add to basket first. Okay, let's take care of this basket. So double click on add to basket and enter the following lines of codes. So I'd like you guys to have a good look at it from here down here. Those are the lines of code that you need in the basket. Let me move it aside. I guess you can see it there. Take it back. Okay, one more time. Those are the lines of code. You do need those codes for the baskets. Okay, and there they are from here down here. Alright. Okay, so if I run the program right now, let's say we enter some names in there. Let's say that's solid date, telephone number, reference number. Okay, so let's just enter whatever in there. So we can always click on, if you look at the receipt, there's nothing in there. If I click on add to basket, and that's it, that's what you get, salary date and all of those information. Okay, that's how the add to basket works, and this is the more or less like the receipt. Okay, the next thing I will now do is to work on the total, to make the total work. That's the only bit that is remaining now, so let's get that out of the way. So we now need to double click on the total there and enter as follows. Okay, with the total, the first thing I would do is to format the cells so that they can accept the pound sterling. So if I run this now with these couple of lines of codes, let's run it and see, and whatever value that is entered in here, it should be able to convert it all to the pound sign. So if I click on that, that is what happens. So the pound sign is being taken care of. So the next thing now is just to add whatever is in here to this, and repeat the same thing for all and display the answer here. So multiply this by this, display the answer in there. Okay, so let's start with that. Okay, for the rest of this total calculation, I'm going to declare the following variable. So let's declare double, that'll be white wine, and double red wine. Okay, and as follows. Okay, then now let me declare some more of this variable. That'll be for my I task. And we also need another one for sub total and one for net total. There. So all of those local variables will be used in my calculation. So the next thing we need to do now is now add this and this together. So but just before that, we might as well assign each of these to, let's assign them to each individual text box. So to do that, we enter as follows. So white wine equals double dot pause and enter that. Okay, close that. So that means whatever value is in here is stored right in there, and the same thing is repeated for the quantity 2, 3, and the unit price 1, 2, and 3. So the next thing is I will use the variable up here. I think it's called white wine, red wine, other wine. Let's make use of that variable right there. That'll be white wine equals white wine, multiply that by unit 1, unit price 1. Okay, and we repeat the same thing for the other variable, which is red wine equals R wine, multiply that by unit 2 there. Then we repeat the same thing for other wine equals other wine multiplied by unit 3 there. So finally we now need to enter this total into this very text box here. So we enter as follows. So we enter as follows. That is for the white wine. We might as well just copy this. Copy, paste another. This would be for number 3, number 2 here, and right here we need red wine here. It's very good. Then the other one is other one there. So we have all of those in place. We now need to assign, we now need to add all of these together and enter it into the tax. So to do that, maybe we should just add all of these together. Maybe declare another variable there. Oh, that's it, it's there already. So let's come down here and just look for I tax equals white wine plus red wine, and we also need to add other wine. Oh, sorry, plus other wine. Okay, we might as well put that in a bracket and divide it by 100. Okay, and full stop. So if we multiply and divide it by 100, we need to know the tax. Okay, so that will give us the tax. We actually need, let's see, okay, I tax. There's a tax right there, so we need to change one or two things there. I have, okay, let's change this to net tax and just change this to net tax as well. So there will be, this will be I tax, multiply by that by I tax, and then divide by 100 will give us the tax value there. Okay, the last thing now is for the to work out the tax. Let's get the name of these components. Come in here, paste that underneath here. Let's copy all of this, paste that in there, and here that will be net tax. So that is our tax taken care of there. Now one more thing, we now need to take care of subtotal. This will be for subtotal here. Let's copy all of those, copy that, and that will be for the subtotal. I need the name of the subtotal. Okay, go up there and get the name of the subtotal right there. Say dot text equals, okay, that is the subtotal there, but it's not going to work. So let's convert it all to string first. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's working as expected. And the next thing we need to do is whatever content in here and here, we need to add it together to give us total. So let's get the name of the total. That's the total right there. Get the total, net total, copy, paste net total there, dot text equals, so that will become, it says system dot convert. We need to convert it to string value equals, we go for net tags right there, and net tags plus all of these, paste that, and hopefully that should work. Alright, that will be for the total, whatever is inside net tags, and that's that. Already I've formatted the whole component to convert it to pound sign there. So let's see if that will work. That is for net total, this is for the tags, and that's for the subtotal. Okay, let's just run it and see what will happen. So enter maybe 2 there, 3 here. Okay, now alright, so when we add this together, this gives us 30, that's correct, and that is the tags, and you add this together, that gives you 35. Okay, that's good. So let's see, so we can always say 10 plus 8, okay, plus 12 there. Okay, we can then add plus 5, 25p. Alright, that is correct, working as expected. So what is now remaining for us is to work on these very converters, okay, to get the converter working. But add to button or add to basket is working as expected, that's fine. Okay, so everything works as expected. Reset is working. Okay, now let's go back into the program. I think reset, we should reset this as well. Okay, let's go back into the program and get that sorted. Let's get the name of that, double click on this, that's called reset. Now come in here, double click on reset, and just enter the reset in there. The text equals there, so that's taken care of. Now that is taken care of, finally we just need to take care of this very one here, the converter. That's all this we need to do now. So for the converter, let me show you guys the variables that are declared for the converter. Those are the variables declared for the converter. So if I double click on this button now, okay, with this very converter, let's double click on that and just start as follows. The first thing I'll do is to declare as follows. Let's say British pounds, okay, equals double dot pause txt convert dot text. Alright, that is my variables taken care of. Okay, so that's the variable right there, and this is my text box. The text box is called converter, this very one, txt converter, that's it right there. Okay, let's go back into the coding area. Then I need to now let me just get the names of all these variables so that I remember them. I need as follows, all of these variables that I declared earlier. I'm going to need them, so I will delete it as soon as I finish with it anyway. Let's just paste it up there so that I will remember. I also need the names of my combo box from here. Let's copy all of this. Right, and just paste it down here. Okay, the first if statement will be if cmb be, that's combo box dot text equals as follows. Let's say if it's a Nigerian money, okay, close that, and okay, so now let's carry out the calculation. Right, then we end up and enter as follows. And get rid of this, we don't need that. Yep, okay, that's fine. Okay, we enter as follows. We only need one bracket here. Yeah, LBL convert dot text equals system dot convert dot to string, there, open a bracket, and that'll be the British pounds there. Okay, multiply that by this variable right here. Where is it? This very one. Okay, copy and paste it there. So that is that taken care of. Just copy that. Might as well just copy it. If it is USA, let's go for USA now, and in that case we change this to US dollars. Copy that and just paste this right here, and we need semicolon here. So just to let you know, that means I don't need this 2 anymore. That's the whole idea, so that I can see what I'm working with. Okay, if it is maybe Kenya money, that is the spelling, paste this in there, and the Kenyan shillings, copy. That's alright then. Let's change this one to the Kenyan shillings. Okay, alright, so let me just copy this. I'll copy this and paste that for Canada. So let's copy Canada. We need to get the spelling right. Okay, come down here and change this to Canada, and let's see the variables that we declare, that was declared for Canada, is Canadian dollars. So we bring that down and replace that with the US dollar. Okay, I don't need the Kenyan one and the Canadian one anymore, so we can get rid of this as well, and Kenya. Okay, so let's take care of the Brazilian one. Copy that and just paste this right here for the Brazilian money, and the content and the text on the combo box, change that to Brazil. Okay, now I think we have a couple more to take care of, and here we have 3 more actually. So we need to take care of, let's take care of Indian rupee. That is the Indian rupee here, right here, and just change the name here to India there. Okay, let's take care of the Philippines, or peso is called, sorry. So let's take care of that. Yeah, that is done. Undo that error. Just copy this, come down here, paste that, and the last but not the least is Indonesia. Copy that, change that to Indonesia, and that is their money right there, and that will be all, hopefully. So let's just delete all of this. I don't need that anymore. So hopefully that'll be the end of this converter. Let's see how the converter works. If I click on that, select any currency there, any country's currency, you see we've just converted that to Canadian dollars, and this is the British equivalent here. So let's take a look of Nigeria. That is correct. And let's take a look at the Philippines. Go for the Indian or Indonesia, Yep, and that is it, and that's how the converter works. So all we just need to do now is to get the cover in place. Alright, so I will now get the cover in place. That's the cover right here. So officially I think I must have finished this very program. So if I run it now, let's give it a final run and see. Enter name as follows. Let's say the name is maybe Look More, and the telephone number is as follows. The date, the time, enter a value in there. Okay, it's going for 3 white wine, 4 red wine, and 5 other wines. Let's see how many of those there. Okay, so all we just need to do now is click on total, and that is the total cost of everything there. So if we want to see the content in the basket, just click on the basket there, and that is the receipt in the basket. But one thing that is left now is just for us to write a program for the other reference. So let me get that sorted, and I can call it bye for now. So if I double click on total, come down here, maybe right down here, the following lines of code will actually generate the other reference. So if I run it, enter a name there. Let's say the name is John or Johnny. Say it's Johnny, right? And enter Johnny's telephone number there. Okay, click on total. That's it. That's Johnny's reference number. If we come to, let's come to order right here. That's the order. Click on the basket. That's it there. You can see Johnny's order. Everything is in the receipt. And to save it, maybe let's start a new one and just enter maybe Johnny again. Johnny is ordering as follows. Telephone number, and we can just click on add, save, and that is Johnny's order right there. And we come to the basket, click on basket, that's Johnny's receipt. With that, I'm just going to call it the end of this program. I suppose you all enjoy it. You all have a nice day now.